So I hope everybody had a awesome Christmas. So MD Trader had a nice trade this morning, trading break of value area high on ES to VWAP. It's probably right around here, I think he said. So we broke value area high in the session, down to VWAP, nice take profit area. And pretty much since then, we've been trading around in value. So traded back up to value area high in the session on ES, back down to VWAP, back to value area high, through VWAP to value area low, VWAP reclaim. So, you know, as a balance specialist, if you're just trying to trade in balance, this gave a lot of nice opportunities to scalp. You know, short to high, high to low, low to high. You know, these are the levels that we're looking at in balance. Generally not using VWAP as a trade level. You know, usually trying to grab the extremes, the value area extremes. So value area low to VWAP or value area high, right? So lots of good opportunities on ES pre-session in balance if you're trading balance. Looks like oil is going to test this 75.20 level. So that would be the 50% mark from Friday's session on the initial balance. So these two blue lines are initial balance. You can see it highlighted by this yellow area. I made a video on this on Christmas Eve, actually. As you can see, I love trading so much, I make videos on Christmas Eve. My wife was cool with it, so I put together some content. But, you know, I'd like to introduce you guys to some additional concepts using initial balance. Now, a lot of this doesn't change, all right? It's still a value area-based trading system. So, you know, using VWAP for value area and imbalance. So we're in balance when we're in the value area, and we're in imbalance when we're outside the value area. Same concepts apply on initial balance. So the first hour of trading on the session. So on ES, I'm looking at oil here. So the first hour is 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. That's the open cry pit session start at 9 a.m. So we grab the first hour and we grab the high and the low. That's our balance area. And then when we're to the upside or downside, that's it. We're in imbalance. I know MD Trader grabbed some nice trades this morning on ES. So energy sector's opening up here. Let's see what we're doing in the energy sector. The metals have been opened since 8:20 this morning, silver 8:10. So let's get this going here. 20. Got silver. Let's see why this is not working here. 8:10. So I've been having issues with trading view on the hours for some reason on this indicator. Don't know why. It's been off by like an hour. I don't know why it's not working there. Working on here either. So oil got up to that next level. So we're at the 50% mark on Friday's session. What I'm really interested in is a short at this 75.49 level. That's 2x initial balance from Friday's session. If we can get there. So I got CL oil loaded up on my trading station here. And I'm ready to take a short if we can break up to 748-ish. I got my alert in if we break 740, 75.40. So it'll alert us. Now we just play the waiting game. Looks like we're getting a little sell off there. Hopefully we can get another extension, trap some shorts up here, get a rebound, push higher. Let's see what we're doing. Gold. Gold bounced off the initial balance low and value area low in the session. It's interesting. Would have been a good trade there. Looks like it might go down and retest it. Gold is in this interesting area. So what we're doing right here in gold, almost to the tick, is we sold off to initial balance low from Friday's session. Held, and that was also value area low on the session for VWAP. Nice MB trade. That's a beautiful trade again. I was just looking at that. It's been trading in balance all morning. So lots of good balance opportunities in ES, right? So he just took this value area low trade, expecting that to hold, and retest VWAP, which it did. So that's a beautiful trade right there. Good job. Taking profits. Now it'd be interesting to see if this goes all the way back to value area high. This is why it's nice as you get more advanced in the strategy to load up on, 2 or 3 contracts down here and exit 1 or 2 and hold a runner to go to value area high. So we call that the coast to coast trade. One value area to the other. Obviously the barrier would be VWAP in the way. Oil pushing higher. So how I'd like to trade this, obviously this is a fade. This is a little different than the strategy I've been talking about. What we're looking for is the extension and the mean reversion trade. So we're approaching this pivot area, which is going to be 75.50. So I'd like to take a contract up here in this area, short, with an expecting to revert to the mean a little bit. But I have to wait. Even though we are experiencing some resistance at this level, we want to wait. The trade is up here, 75.49. Let's mark this on my lower time frame chart. It's 75.48. Okay, so this is our pivot level from Friday's session. See if we can get up there. Everybody have a Merry Christmas. I hope so. Who couldn't wait to get back to trading this morning? I know the holidays seem like they get in the way with my trading. But, you know, spending time with the family and enjoying it. All right, we're going to wait for this to push higher. Natural gas also approaching initial balance high from the Friday. So I'm trying to figure out what's going on with this indicator. You know, it should be resetting now. Not quite sure why it's still stuck on Friday's session. When we're at 9 a.m. Should be opening up here. Oh, here we go. I just got my alert on oil. All right, I took one contract here. You got room to add. I would like to see this area hold. That was a nice big push up. So I'm short at 44. Grab the second contract. Short at 46. I just got filled at 1. Pay for the trade. 10 tick winner. Let's see if I get a nice move on that second contract. Move my stop. 54. My average price is 48. All right, let's go. Looks like there's some bid support here. Back up to my average price. Might get a stop run here. I'll be prepared to get back in if that happens. My stop out's at 54. Okay, I just got stopped there. Could be a good place to flip long. All right, if we break below 49, gonna get back in. Now this is a zone. We want to give it a little room to breathe up here. Might chop around this area a little bit. Okay, back below our area. Chop. You get one nice flush down. That would be nice. The 40s, low 40s, 30s. Cash, you there? Definitely getting a lot of chop in this area. It's a lot of buying, and it's a lot of it's being absorbed. So let's see what happens. Did have a huge move up in oil this morning. I got my stop at 69. Average price now is 51. Well, looks like it's holding bid here. Got about 10 cents left in my stop here. It looks like it's gunning for it. All right, 10 minutes till we got the indices opening, grains, meats. Yeah, these are still closed. Have to be stopped out here on oil. We went straight up. All right, stopped out. Morning. Just watching oil. We hit this pivot point, which was 2x on Friday's session. I took a loser on that trade. Oil's having quite the run this morning. Not a single red candle on the 15-minute. Look at that. Straight up since 6:30 this morning. Here. What is everybody watching out there? Oil's still interesting now if we can get up to 76. Well, on its way. Just looking through some things here. All right, well, our next level is going to be up here. Let's see if we get up to 90. And if we come back down to 51, I'm interested. Oh, huge sellout for natural gas. Let's see here. So I've been using this initial balance indicator for a while, and I'm confused today why it's not resetting for this morning session. I am perplexed. So essentially what happens is this is the calculation period for the initial balance, 9 to 10 a.m. It's 9:23. So we should have a new initial balance like this orange area over here. We should have it here now. We don't. So let's see if I open up a new one here. Yeah, it's not doing it. So based on being a balance specialist, right? So I talked about this a little bit in my video, becoming a balance specialist or an imbalance specialist. If you're a balance specialist, never shorting around or up below value area high or value area low. To keep it simple, now you can open this playbook a little bit for the imbalance trader. The imbalance trader will look for longs at the value area extreme, right? For a long to capture the momentum. And then the mean reversion setup for that trade is looking for a retracement from one of the initial balance extension marks, like the 2x or the 3x, even the 50%. These areas are also very respected. And I don't know if you watched that video yet, but I just did a video on Christmas Eve that talks about that and adding to those types of setups to the playbook. In the beginning, I think it pays to focus on one or the other. And I think for most, being a balance specialist is the easier setups and more frequent. And once you get really good at that, opening up to the imbalance trades, trying to get to the momentums off value area high. And then once we get a nice extension, trying to catch these, in oil, we got, you would have had to really scalp this. I was like in the money by like 8 ticks. I closed one contract, held the other one for a stop out. Yeah, it's an awesome video. So, that's just to broaden the playbook a little bit. When you're getting these huge moves, I started my trading career as a short only. All I did was short small caps that were making huge moves. So I still love that setup. But, I got to wait for a nice extension. So the initial balance times 2 times 3, those are the extensions I'm looking for. All right, well, my initial balance indicator is not working and I can't figure it out for the life of me. If I just remove it completely, add it back. Look at that.
So I just realized I've been talking the whole time and not doing my push to talk, and you
Oh,
can't
there we go.
hear me.
Welcome to the group.
That's why I've been so quiet.
Oh, that makes sense. So I messed up that short in oil. I was actually in the money nicely on 2 contracts. I covered one and took a loss on the second one.
So
And I can't
gold
figure.
just broke above VWAP.
What did? Gold?
Gold.
I can't figure out for the life of me why this initial balance indicator isn't resetting for this morning. It's really annoying me. Here we go. I don't want it for 8 though. I want it for 9. Does this one only finish when the initial balance is set and doesn't wait for a developing one? That could be that's possible here.
Got 1 minute till the open.
Okay, well, started my Tuesday with an L. And then this one is going based on wrong time. Look at this. So weird. Okay, let's look at the bonds here. We're gonna finally get that sell-off in oil. We're back below our level now. All right, I'll be right back, guys. Okie doke. Silver. Gold is back over VWAP. Look, we're finally getting that oil short. Now, is it going to find support at this level? Got a little bit of a wick there. So this is our area that we've been watching on oil.
ES just had a coast to coast right after the open.
So, Doc Brian, this is Trading View premium package with live futures data. This is a great platform. All right, I'm in this short again on oil. At 40, you know, look at this. It's gonna find support there. Gotta get out real quick. 5-tick loser. What I'm looking for is the return to value, right? I'd like to get back down to this area. Yes, breaking out of value to the upside. Russell, same story. NASDAQ. Bond still hanging out value area low. All right, was this the little bump and fail in oil? See if we get it. It's first selling candle on the 15-minute. But the question is, do we form a range up here now? Or do we get the bigger retracement back down to value area high? Okay, we're testing this range. It's getting bought up. This level hold.
Platinum just came down to VWAP. Gold is at the bottom of value area low.
Oh yeah, platinum's tanking. Platinum's going straight down. Giving up that entire move from 8 o'clock this morning. So
Huge sell-off on gold.
I'm in oil short. I got my stop at the pivot high. Good morning.
Morning.
Oil's really holding this level, isn't it?
Yeah, consolidating a little.
Gotta let it work.
I think I'm in the same short as you. I got my stop at pivot high and short.
Good morning. Yeah, you can get a lot of longs looking for the next leg up in this thing. That could stop out if we break for a nice move back down to value area high. Here we go. Do we break? And my first profit target's at 37. Got it. Now I move my stop to break even. So can't lose on the rest of the trade. Hopefully we keep moving down to value area high. My next profit target is at 30.
Oh, nice. I only had one contract on that, but I got out at 11 ticks, so that was a good trade.
My stop loss is now there. I'm 17 ticks in the money. 18. Let's go. Might move it up a little bit higher here. I'd like to get filled on this second contract. Got it. All right, now I'm going to hold my last piece. Hopefully I can get down to value area high on this. So I got to hold for the bigger moves, right? I took 2 stop outs trying to get this same trade. My reward has to be bigger than my risk because I'm not always going to nail the trade every single time. I have an idea of where it is, but as you can see, it can chop around this level for a bit, break above it, retest it, break below it. You know, if it went straight up and down in our anticipated directions, this would be easy. And we all know that is not the reality. Thank you. Yep. It took me 3 times to get it. I'm still in it. My stop out's at 52. Hopefully this area holds. We get one more push down to value area high. And I'm just sitting with this thing, you know. Sometimes the hardest part is, you know, watching the profits of my remaining position come all the way back to my stop loss. That sucks. But the hardest part is sitting through the pain, right? It's not just the loss. It's not just sitting through a loser. It's, you know, watching things come back that were in profit. It looks like it's going to stop me out at break even. Yeah, so I've gotten this question twice already, and it's a great question, you know, based on my VWAP video. So, and also in the VWAP video, I just got stopped out. Rest of the trade, this might be a good area to go long. See what happens. Next leg up. Okay, so in that VWAP video, I talk about becoming a specialist, right? A balanced specialist versus a... I'm watching this. Watching this level on oil. Struggling here. You know, is this the re-short or is this the long? Got to break above this 53 level. It's the anchor VWAP from the high. Okay, so based on the VWAP video, I talked about being a specialist, right? Mostly becoming a balance specialist. So when we're in balance, we trade the extremes of value, value area high, value area low. When we're in balance, we expect price discovery to the upside, price discovery to the low side, right? I made another video on Christmas Eve that kind of broadens the playbook a little bit. The imbalance trader. The imbalance trader looks for longs off value area high and shorts off of value area low, but also there's a mean reversion trade on the initial balance. And we get these levels 50%, 2x, and 3x of the initial balance, first hour of trading. And those make great mean reversion trades. Looks like this area is holding. So I encourage you to watch that video. It's in the pit. I think I put it in the pit. It's definitely in the videos. Trading futures markets using initial balance. And that will kind of broaden the playbook a bit when we have a nice big extension and looking for the mean reversion trade once we've been in imbalance for quite some time. But I think for the newer value strategy traders, just focusing on balance and not shorting or longing above or below value area, you know, because those are the riskier trades. You know, we're fighting the trend, obviously. Okay, now we got the lower highs in oil.
It also just tapped off of the value area low for the anchored VWAP from the high.
Yes. So anchor VWAP changes to a 1 minute so you can see it better. The high.
But again.
Oh, now it's failing. So using anchor VWAP, these are great things to use at highs and lows. We could see who's in control. So clearly sellers are in control from the previous high. And until we get above this VWAP, sellers remain in control. So no longs until we're back over VWAP from the high. We touched that 48 level again. So we have a lot of people in the room today. This is awesome. Let's see. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 16 total. Count me and you. That's I just started this thing like less than 2 weeks ago. So it's exciting to have some participation. We love trading. We love sharing our information, our knowledge, being around like-minded people. Can we get above this VWAP is what I want to know. That's a good question, Derek. I don't know about anchored VWAP on Sierra. I can't imagine they don't. Do they have are they like Ninja where you can have plugins and stuff? I don't use it on NinjaTrader. I just use it on TradingView. Okay, I grabbed the low, value area low, long here. I'm in at 45. Thanks, MD. Good trades today, man. Enjoy. So as you can see, sellers remain in control of that high. We got sold up once, twice, thrice. Awesome, man. Yeah, we're here to learn. We are here to learn. That's why we're not flashing P&Ls and, YOLOing trades here. This stream is all about learning and rules and probabilities and, the things that make someone a great trader. And, I remember when I started in the stream and people were flashing these huge P&Ls, it really threw off my psychology in a lot of ways. It made me feel less than, or I had to strive for these huge numbers, and I think it did more damage than good. So, of course I want everybody to do well and make money and have big trades and all this kinds of stuff, but, the main goal here is not flashing P&L. And I fell in that trap too. So I'm not saying that I'm perfect or that I've never done that. I definitely have. But I've grown a lot since then as well. For sure. Consistency is key. I don't know about anybody else, but for my psychology and my emotional I would much rather have consistent wins. Watching this long and we're just chopping around so much. I don't have them offhand, but that's something I can drop in the Discord based on the back testing and all that kind of stuff. So stay tuned. I'll share that information as it revolves around VWAP and Anchor VWAP and things of that nature. But these are high expectancy trades, of course. You know, theoretically, you can make money consistently trading 50% probability as long as your reward is greater than your risk. And you stick to that. Even with 50-50 odds. Yep, exactly. You can hold your winners, cut your losers. Even with a 50% probability, you know, or even less. Something only works 1/10 of the time and your risk to reward is 10R. I'm trying really hard not to get stopped out on this trade. I took some profits. We're just kind of consolidating this channel, so I'm probably gonna look to get out of some of this. All right, I'm out of this. Took a small scalp there. Of course, it runs after I do that. Such is the way, but you know, here we are. Absolutely, I'm day trader. I mean, at the end of the day, we're here to make money. You know, that's the goal. Not being right. It's not a game. You know, being right feels good. You know, I love to be right, but you know, if the market has shown me anything, is that being right all the time is impossible. Even the highest quality setups. You know, and how many times has something done something, you didn't take the trade, you look back, you're like, I knew it was going to go up there, or I knew it was going to go down there. You know, everything is 20/20 in hindsight, but you know, how you trade and how you execute is what differentiates a successful and profitable trader versus an analyst, for example. There's a lot of analysts that don't trade and don't make money trading, but they're really good at calling predictions.
So we have gold coming up to a value area low from earlier. Platinum's back at VWAP. ES just bounced off of VWAP.
And I'm sitting here trading oil, who has the smallest range out of everybody. So I'm going to get away from oil here for a little bit. Let's see what other opportunities we got. Gold is certainly interesting, isn't it?
Yeah, if we can get back into value here on gold, that would be an interesting long.
And initial balance is also pretty close to, initial balance low is close to value area low. So there's going to be some What is that level? 69.4. I do like this setup. I think I'm going to take the short here, though. Because look at that. We're also at VWAP from the recent pivot high. Yep. Certainly confluence here. So I'm in short. I didn't get a great fill. I'm at 81. Stop is at pivot high. You know, if we can get back down to the 50%, 67.3, be a good profit target. Are you waiting for this thing to break into value to go long?
That is what I'm looking for right now. Cash is my position at the moment.
Yeah. All right, it's trying.
I'm gonna take a stab at it with a tight stop.
So this is where we're at, guys. We got a lot going on in this level in gold. We have value area low. Oop, just looks like it got rejected there.
Yeah, I got stopped out. I had a 3-tick stop, so.
So we have a lot going on. Let's break this down to the 1 minute. Actually, let's move this here. We got gold trying to get into value. This is our anchored VWAP from the recent pivot high, anchored VWAP from the pivot low. I haven't really done a video on anchored VWAP yet, but I'm going to do that next. Gold's trying really hard to break into value on the session. We had this big sell-off. topped around at the bottom for a little bit. $69.4 is also IB low. So we're starting to accept prices and value. Remove this. And initial balance. Looks like we spiked. There was the trade you needed. Trade.
Yeah, I'm in it. I had 2 contracts. I took profit at 8 ticks and moved the stop to break even. So I'm just going to let it run. If it stops out, it stops out.
Nice trade. I did not take that one. I got stopped out on a short. Cash took the inverse. And it's bolting for VWAP at this point.
So I'm currently flat. I collected profits on my last contract. So I'm out, but it was a good trade.
That was a good trade. You definitely had a supported bid helping you out there. That was nice. Higher lows, higher highs.
Yeah, and the anchored VWAP from the bottom, it wasn't a perfect confluence on the value area high of that and the value area low of the session VWAP, but you know, I had a really tight stop, and you know, I was willing to risk what the stop was to see if I could catch a runner with 2 contracts.
Going all the way to VWAP. Not far now. 8 ticks.
I'm going to continue to watch gold here. You know, see what it does around VWAP. It could provide another opportunity either way, depending on what it does, but patience is key at this point.
Looks like we're going back down to... I'd like to see it go back down to value area low in the session.
Yeah, if it holds that, then that might give us another opportunity to go long.
You're going to get some chasers coming in here. And it might work out for them. I don't know. He's going to give up that whole move. I love it when that happens.
So we still have that value area high confluence from the low anchored VWAP to the value area low on the session. So that's a good area to watch.
This the 68, 689 level, 68.8, 68.9. Yeah, I see that.
Exactly.
All right, well, let's put one of these here too. Okay, IB low is 69.4, which is also another interesting level, you know, so probably get quite a bit of chop around here. Quite the wick on the 15-minute. You know, this might be a consolidation channel. VWAP and market mid. IB mid is roughly the same level too. $68.8. So we kind of rejected at the anchor VWAP from the high. Seller's still in control here. See what ES did. Yeah, look at that, VWAP. Broke out a value area high, found support at VWAP, and then pretty much went straight up after that. Nice. If you caught that off VWAP, that's a nice trade. Gold.
Just got over initial balance low.
Long?
Yeah, platinum just broke initial balance and it's still going up. I'm not in a trade.
Yeah. So initial balance is a great area to watch because if you think about it, anybody who bought in the first hour of trading, if it breaks below it, is now red, right? So you can get some nice stop runs to the downside if we can break and hold prices below IB low. It's having a lot of difficulty finding buyers after this pivot high. I would like to see it get down to the 69.4 level and see what we do once we get down there. Oh, did some buyers there. Actually, it wasn't that many. We're still on relatively low volume here. So we got quite a few people in the channel this morning. This is pretty awesome. Anybody new to futures? Anybody not even trading futures yet? Okay, cool. So I'm gonna probably do some videos and some information just on those that are new to futures in general. A lot of us came over from equities for a lot of different reasons. And thinking about going back is really tough once you trade futures. The volatility, the liquidity, the capital requirements, they're all much lower. Capital requirements are much lower. Lots of leverage. Volatility is excellent, especially when you can trade multiple markets. You know, you can trade one contract in NQ for $1,000. I mean, what can you trade in equities for $1,000 aside from penny stocks, right? What we also have in futures is prop firms, where you can trade their money, or at least evaluate and try to trade their money, and limit your downside. So you can pay $50, $100 for an account, practice, learn, and the most you can lose is the $100 or $50 that you put into the account, into the trial. Yes, using a prop firm. I also have a live account, but I don't trade it as much. I don't have to, because the prop firms give me the opportunity to protect myself. So I do that. I use Top Step currently. I like Top Step because they do have a $49 evaluation, and also they don't have the trailing stop loss. I can't stand the live trailing stop loss. I think it's just there to work against you. I don't think it's there to help you whatsoever. So Apex is nice because they offer these like $15, $20 discounts, super cheap, but they have this rule that is incredibly restrictive.
So we're above that anchored VWAP from the high.
Yeah, I see that. So now this can turn into a consolidation area, or we can I'll put it in the chat. And you can get started for just $49. And they include with that the data, the platform. I mean, you know, where else can you get sophisticated software and data and actually have the potential to make money for $49? So you don't have to risk your own money. You can practice. You could even have some skin in the game. The other one I use, I have more than one account, is Apteros, and they're a legit firm. If your guys are familiar with SMB Capital, they're a huge New York City prop firm. He was one of their top futures traders, and he left to start his own firm, Apteros. Apteros is much harder. It's a $10,000 profit target to get a live account with them. So you have to show them in a simulator that you can make $10,000 without losing more than $1,500 in one day and a total max drawdown of $4,000. But what's nice about Apteros is their commissions are 80 cents a side. So $1.60 a round trip. So it's really nice for scalping strategies. I'll be right back, guys. You still in that long, Cash? Looks like it's consolidating in this value area.
I got out of that a while ago.
Okay. Ooh, Cairo. So, Doc Brian, I am a CrossFitter. I've been a CrossFitter for 12 years. I know you guys love us. I could use a stem cell shot in my shoulder right about now. MD Trader, that is correct. So for most of them, they are not using live money. Most of them are just evaluators. But the truth of the matter is if you can't make money with their rules and in their accounts, you probably shouldn't be trading live money anyway, right? So I highly recommend it to a lot of beginners. Their rules for most of them are not any different than rules that should be followed in a live account. So it just protects the downside for a lot of people. No need to give away all your money learning to trade. Second is they're not all like that. So Apteros, for example, they'll put you in a live real money account. No, you're protecting your own account by using a prop firm. You're protecting your own money by using a prop firm, by limiting your downside. So they're not protecting your account. Yes, they make a ton of money by people blowing accounts, for sure. But that money is generally way less for the average trader than what they would lose with real money. So I guess that's the point I'm trying to hit home, is that people learning to trade, figuring out this journey, and we all know it takes a long time, will lose or spend significantly less money learning using prop firms than they would using real account money. And that's really all I suggested for. If you're a great trader and, you can make money consistently, then no, you don't need a prop firm. It's mostly a recommendation for newer people. Yeah, I mean, from what I've seen, I noticed no difference on the fills and the data. I mean, they run on Rhythmic, so there's only so much they can do. There are prop firms out there like My Forex Funds. That's a Forex prop firm that were, are being accused of bad fills and manipulating data and things like that. So that's the sketch. The other sketchy part is, like they're charging you for commissions that aren't really happening. So there's that too. All right, gold coming back down to IB low. I don't think they're the most, honorable businesses in the world. But, you know, I think they do have a purpose for newer traders to practice and to learn without losing all their money. I guess that's really the only utility I think they provide.
And add to that, you know, if there's a question, why not just learn in a simulator? You know, from my personal experience, even though if it's a $50 Top Step account or a $15 Apex account or something, if there's skin in the game, I find that I take it a little more seriously versus a sim where whatever my psychology for whatever reason, you know, like I don't care if it's a sim.
Looks like that might have been a little stop run in gold below IB. See that? Got this wick on the 1 minute. Could be a good long. But I'm not taking that. My wife is actually at the chiropractor this morning.
That's love.
All right, we're hovering right above this IB low in gold. Now we're below it again.
We're actually around settlement and gold as well.
Oh, I just switched over so you could see these anchor VWAPs a little better. 3 minute on a short, they're a little harder to see. So yeah, I'm usually, you know, all these are 3 minute charts, and I just switched over just so you could see those levels a little better. So now we're back into value on the anchor VWAP from the low, and I still have to do a video on this as well. Now this is the area that we're interested in, the 68. Can we stay below it? We might even chop around here a little bit. Kind of like this. I don't know if I like this long. It looks like it's, you know, on the longer time frame, accepting prices and value and then rejecting. So we didn't even make it to VWAP. So this is like, okay, we're trying to you know, find balance, and we're getting rejected, out of balance again. And remember, we're below initial balance. Everybody who bought in the first hour of the session is now underwater. I like the short here, but I don't want to short right into VWAP. I used to trade small caps, Mike. I had a really good run last summer. It's very difficult to manage your risk in small caps, and I don't like that part of it. I would get caught in halting stocks with size and, $10,000 swings, and as much money as I made, I lost a lot of money as well. It's very difficult. It's very difficult to manage risk, and yeah. I had $100,000 winning months shorting small caps. I had a run where I had 100 winning trades in a row. Like we're finding some support here. People are going to be trying to long off this value area low. We got VWAP anchored to this low on the session. So like I said, we're probably going to get some chop in this area. Where we really need to break down is through VWAP here. I don't hang out in warrior trading anymore, Ross is a cool guy, man. I got to hang out with him in person. I've been to their office, as some of you may know. I've gone out to dinner with him and his family. He's he's a real person like everybody else. He's not so much just the person you see on YouTube. He's a good man. It's just too hard to trade like him. It's very difficult to trade like him. A lot of people have tried to mimic his style and have failed. So I went the other direction. He's long and I'm shorting. Being a short is also really difficult because you have to pay for the locates. So, you're underwater, and if you're trading any type of size, you can be underwater hundreds of, if not thousands of dollars before you even take the trade. And then you got to locate early. You run out of locates. The price keeps going up. Man, that's, futures. You can short whatever and whenever you want. That's pretty nice. I remember coming over to futures and be like, I can just short anything. I don't have to test. I don't have to see the locates and figure out how much they are. And like, this is amazing. All right, I would like to get a little flush down here. Out of value area low. Break this VWAP level. There we go. Okay, do we hold under VWAP? Is the question. We got some people buying here for the VWAP reclaim. There goes. Beauty. So that was an interesting move down. Watching the short at IB low. Riding this thing down as it held below value area low on this anchored VWAP from the pivot high. Dropped around quite a bit as it met these levels. You know, it's interesting. You know, when you start watching a lot of this VWAP and value area high, you can see why it chops around so much. You know, it's people buying and selling at these levels, right? So we're hitting value area low. People are buying. People are selling to value area low on this. You know, it's fascinating. The battle that's constantly taking place. All right, let's look for the next. Cash, how you doing?
Sorry, I'm here. I got to step away for a second.
That's
One of my
okay.
kids
Yep,
is
I know.
bothering me.
I'm sure you're not the only one who has their kiddos this week.
That's the way computers talk to each other.
All right, well, we got hogs testing IB low. Cattle trading in balance for the most part. Corn is doing some stuff. It's going back to the balance. Not a big enough extension. Be interesting if we get up here. An alert. Alert down here. Got oil testing value area high. This could be an interesting long. But I don't like this weakening bounce look here. You know, is this a short or are we just going to keep trading in this range? What I don't like doing is, you know, shorting into the bottom of these ranges. Even if we broke value area high, you know, we got this clear support and resistance level. So we'll see what it does there. But either way, we're trading in balance. Nothing that exciting. Natural gas breaking below IB low here at the value area low. January. Not what I had. What is going on? Okay, there we go. Oh, kind of a mid-market. Chop area, gasoline, gold. That was a nice. Got down to 50%. Silver. IB low on silver. Silver's a tough one to trade. $25 a tick. All right, well, we got ES flirting with IB high here. $19.5. So that's a set level now. You know, do we range today? Take a short here with stop above I like that trade. I'm in at 50. Short. Stop at 20.5. So what is this? Why is this a short level? This is IB high. Traded above it, rejected, now trading below. So technically this is balance, right? So we can expect this channel between upper value area high on the session and IB high. Let's see if we get down there. There we go. If we get another flush down, I'll probably move my stop to break even on this one. And I'm probably going to tighten my stop a little bit. 19.25. right, stops at break even. Take profits here. It's coming. I didn't get filled. It's still coming back on me. This be a break even trade. We got a little bounce there, but seller's still stepping in. Here we go. I seem to get filled at this 17 level. All right, one tick away. Gonna move up to 25 here. Alright, well, my orders are in for that one. We'll see what happens. 1725. Oil found support. Look at that. Right here, value area high. Again, it's where I didn't want to short. Alright, I got filled on my ES trade. It's a good one. You know, this could be the good long right here. But we're in balance. So I ain't buying that. All right, I'll be right back, guys. All right, so how did everybody else do this morning? Best trades were this short and oil. Right on here. Missed it twice, trying to take it on this way up. Anticipatory. Then I had a nice short in gold. Right here, value area low. Or IB low. Let's see, that was right here. Took this short. Got up 50% mark. Right here. And then I just had that scalp on a yes. IB high. Right here. And I took that short to value area high in the session. Let's take a look. Yeah, I see that. And there's definitely a lot working in favor of this trade. We're holding below value area low. We're below IB low. You know, I'm not crazy about these higher lows. This kind of wedge that's forming. This flat top.
Right, guys, I think my kids have run out of the patience.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going to wrap up here in a minute myself. I just went through some of the trades I took.
Yeah, I'm going to wrap up. You know, I hit my profit target. My best trade of the day was that long on gold at the bottom there. I took
That
some
was a
losers
good trade.
on,
Let me highlight
took some losers
that.
on oil. But overall a good day. So I'll be back and see you guys tomorrow. Good luck everyone, and have a good one.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Cash. Have a good one. All right. So the trade he took was this break of, I'm pretty sure he took this one first. I'm not sure. He stopped out and he took it again on the break of value area low north. And that was a great trade he took. I was short here. I got stopped out and then I took it again here and I got that nice move. All right, guys, I'm going to wrap it up here. Does anybody have any questions before I head off for today? I'm probably going to just have some breakfast and then scalp NQ for a little bit. I do that in my Apteros account. If anybody has any questions. Otherwise, I hope everybody had a great Tuesday. We'll be back tomorrow morning, 9 a.m., 9:15. And I'll post this if anybody wants to review later on YouTube. And I have a couple more videos coming out as well. So stay tuned. Lots more to come. You're very welcome, Kaufman. Thank you. Yep, absolutely. Check you guys tomorrow. And as always, post any questions in the Discord, man. I'm happy to go over any trades or any questions. You know, I'm on here all the time. So have a great day, guys. See you later.